Welcome back to another Force with Friends podcast. Kevin, I'm super excited about this one because, like, last week we had nothing planned.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know what we were going to do. And then we were like, let's talk about Galaxy's Edge. Maybe the most fun Star Wars thing you can actually do. Um, we have the propensity to talk a long time about this, but we're gonna we're gonna try not to. I know
Yeah.
you've been once, I've been like a lot, and we've been together, so that's cool. We can
Yep.
actually shared experience some of this. So we're gonna try to make this like as structured as possible, but no promises. A few of the things we will discuss, we're gonna talk about just like how immersive it is, how awesome to just go and be in Star Wars. We're going to talk about all the merchandise, building a lightsaber, the droid experience. There's the cantina, there's the rides, there's characters walking around, like there's good food and drink there. There's it really, like, it's probably one or two rides away from just being its own theme park. It's so good. So I went we'll start just talking about like our first experience, like going in, because that's kind of the coolest thing there, I think, is the first time you go. And so I remember it was 2017, maybe. I think it was either 16 or 17. I don't even know if I was married yet, but me and Ashley went to Disney. Someone had gave us free tickets or something, and so we were at like Hollywood Studios. We did like 4 parks in a day. Don't recommend, but we did it. And they had the pictures up there of like before you even go into Galaxy's Edge, like what it was going to look like a rendering. And now it's the entrance into the place is what it is. But I remember I've got a picture standing in front of it like a super dork, like, oh, I can't wait till this opens. And then lo and behold, I've got a picture like 2 or 3 years later when it actually did open, standing in the same spot, and it lived up to every expectation I had. Like you go in, there's 2 entrances. There's one through the Toy Story Land, and there's another like next to Star Tours when you go that way.
Right.
It's like the official, main entrance is where you go through the Star Tours way. There's that tunnel you go in. And just when you're going through there, like you can't hear the rest of the park. They've got Star Wars, like kind of an ambiance playing.
Yeah.
It is so awesome. We never actually go in that way anymore because we always like go to Toy Story Land first and then hop over. But you go in and you are genuinely like immersed. Everything's so tall, you can't see out to anything else. It's like you've walked into Batuu. You're in a different galaxy, and it's so cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously Disney puts a lot of time and energy into all of their park stuff, and it's no different. It is really, really immersive. It's kind of like walking into a nicer Mos Eisley, right? That's what it feels like. Like if you had to equate it to something from Star Wars, it's just kind of this place where you feel like people are passing through. It is. It feels like an outpost in Star Wars where just the comings and goings of the galaxy take place. So they do a really good job of just making it feel natural. And then of course the people are fun, right? They all
in character.
What is it? Bright suns, isn't that what they say to everybody?
Bright suns.
Bright suns. Yeah, they all greet everybody the same way. And so, you do feel like you've stepped into Star Wars, whether it's the visuals or the people or the things that are just littered around the place as homage to all the cool Star Wars stuff. I mean, it's one of the coolest things you can do as a Star Wars fan. That's most like stepping at least a little bit into Star Wars. So
you feel like you're there because it is set like. Now, I don't think they are as like strict about this as they were when the movies were coming out and everything, but it was strictly, between episodes 8 and 9. That was like their time frame, and so the only characters there were going to be like sequel characters. They've branched away from that now because Grogu and the Mandalorian, that's where the money comes from. So they walk around now. But it was Ahsoka, I guess, shows up now too. So they're, kind of letting off that a little. but you see like your Chewbacca, Rey, and Kylo Ren always walking around. They've got their own character that they made some books about and stuff. I forget her name. She's cool though. She wears like that orange jumpsuit.
She's got like blue hair or something.
Yeah, kind of like
Isn't
maybe
there something,
two-toned
some sort
hair.
of streak, something. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And she's real good because she's like playing into her mission, and Rey is always playing into hers, and Kylo Ren in the First Order, like Phasma, they're all looking for. I guess Phasma's not there because she's but Kylo Ren's walking around, looking, and so it's very within that time frame. It's awesome. Like it feels like you are living in Star Wars, and so. First time we went, like, Rise of the Resistance wasn't even open. So, like, it was just Smuggler's Run. The line for it was, like, insane.
Oh, gosh, I bet.
Wasn't for us. We got real lucky and just kind of got in quick. And then we went, like, 3 or 4 times during COVID. Like, no lines were long then. But it was pretty cool, even without maybe the coolest part of it being open yet. So, it just really is a testament to how good it is when your main attraction wasn't even open when the park opened. And it's like, hey, still pretty good. I would come back without it. So I think they did great. It cost over $1 billion to make it.
Oh, I can imagine. What year did it open? Do you remember?
I have it on this pin here, 2019. Oh, so it opened in like June or July of 2019, and I went for my birthday in August at some point in 2019.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
When did episode 8 come out?
2017.
Oh, okay. So it was okay.
And episode 9 came out in December of 19.
Okay. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, I was trying to place it within there.
And the one in California, I think, opened a little bit earlier than Orlando. Yeah, so we're specifically talking Batuu East. I've never been west. So
never been west.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we man, what year did we come down there? It was right after y'all moved. What year was that?
22. Yeah, summer 22.
Oh, it seems like a lot longer than that now at this point.
You've got a kid that's old enough to go now.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to wait till they're all old enough. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't bring the ones that don't appreciate it yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll have to stay outside the park. But no, because we had planned, it was before y'all moved. We were like, well, we got to get down there. We got to go to Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I hadn't been and just really wanted to go. And so, we came down and got to go with you guys, which was a lot of fun because you guys kind of already knew the best ways to do things and tackle things. So that worked out in our favor. But yeah, no, I've only been once, but it's such a cool experience. And we tried to soak up as much as we could because we didn't know when we'd be back. So
well, we spent, that was like, we were at Hollywood Studios all day and we spent, I would say, half the day in there.
Yeah,
easy.
Most of the time that's where we were. We branched out a little
just
bit.
Hanging out.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, it was good. So now I think let's go ahead and talk about like what I personally think is the coolest thing I've done there. I don't know if you agree or not, but you get to build your own lightsaber. Like it's an experience. So
it is.
Yeah. I've built 2 sabers. You've built 1, and I think all of ours are kind of different too. So we can actually show off a few different sabers here. Yours is cool. You should show it.
So I did the this is the elemental nature one. Which is really cool. I love the different vibe with it. So yeah, man, like the whole experience is just, it's essentially a 15-minute show that you get a lightsaber out of, right? That you get to be a part of. I think you and I had different people leading it, but I think they all, I saw your video and I think they all just do a pretty phenomenal job. But it is, man, they take you in there and it feels so secretive and like so legit, and they put this stuff in front of you and you just get to sit down and it's so cool to just put it together and then it sits there. And then that first ignition is super cool. So
that's what you pay for.
It is, you can obviously there's better quality lightsabers out there, right? The hilts are pretty good. The blades aren't the brightest. They're not the best quality. They are.
Yeah.
But man, you pay for the experience and it's it's a
Yeah.
cool experience. It really, really is.
Yeah.
My only complaint is I wish they would let you be a little more selective about the pieces.
Oh, and
Because
they go
they're
quick too. Like you're in, and you got to be
well,
choosing.
not only that, but like I really wanted two of these. Like I wanted
Yeah,
two of the whalebone ones. I thought that would have been really
yeah.
cool, but they're like, nope, one of each. You don't get to double up. So, you know, come on,
You would
Disney.
think for that two
You're
hundred and
making
fifty
so
dollar,
much money off of
yeah,
these things.
like they're
Let me pick
making
the
two
parts.
fifty, or they're charging 250. They're probably making 200 at least off each one, if
Yeah.
not more.
Oh,
They
I'm
got to
sure.
pay a lot of staff, I guess.
But
But
it's been fun.
yeah,
I chase the kids around the house with it, and we have a good time. And it's
yeah,
it's a cool thing to have. Um, I think you talked about it the other week. It's a lot like the one I actually built in Fallen Order. It
yeah,
was a
yeah.
lot of those same elemental nature
Hmm.
pieces, which is kind of funny. But yeah, no, it's a super cool thing. It's a super cool experience. It may be tied with the Cantina as my favorite experiences there, but
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
would definitely be a tie. I don't think it's beneath anything at all.
yeah. That's true. The cantina is awesome too.
Yeah, I
So
love the
this is
Cantina.
my first one that I built. It's like the High Republic one,
Yeah,
and it looks pretty sharp. Like now the
that's
stuff it's
cool.
not like lined up anymore, if you see. Like I cannot ever get it to line up again. So
Yeah,
like those will line up and but it doesn't work. But either
yeah,
way, that was the first one I built. The company I work for, when we were moving to Florida, they like give you some money to go on and visit town and
yeah.
stuff like that. And so we we actually went and visited town and then went to Disney and did a little bit like this. We did the cantina. I built a lightsaber, so it was like thanks. That's a nice
Yeah.
little perk for a new job. So took that, and then
That's
this is the
funny.
one I built last year. So this is like
Yeah,
a
that's cool.
Sith dark
I
side
like
one,
that.
and it's like I feel like it's a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So and it's
That's cool.
it's heavier. It's got like a clip on it, so that's cool as well. I just
Yeah,
thought it
because
looked
now
real sharp.
they have all new parts now, right? They're all entirely
Yeah. So
revamped.
they did 2019 to 2023. I think spring of 23. They got some new ones in April of 23, and so I won't do it again
Yeah,
until they do some new ones. But you
something new.
also
Yeah,
get a pin with it. So like
yeah,
that's my it's defense and something is the High Republic one.
yeah.
And then this one's like Control and Power, which is the Sith one. And this pin
Nice.
is super cool. I love it.
Here's the elemental nature pin. It's pretty tight.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Is that
that.
like a sun
It's
or
a cool
something
one.
on it?
I'm not even sure what it is. It's kind of a gold copperish
Or is it
color.
a midi chlorian? So
Sure. Yes. Yes, I think they put one under a microscope, and that's
yeah.
exactly what it is. So, yeah, no doubt.
But during all this, you've seen some B-roll rolling of the experience. Kevin, you haven't because you're shooting here, but there's you've kind of seen the experience shot on a phone camera, but it doesn't do it justice. I'll
Yeah.
link the full lightsaber build experience like in the description, and I'll tag it too. Definitely check that out if you haven't done it. I know it's $250, which kind of seems crazy, but man, like if you're in the parks and you're doing a vacation or whatever and you're just looking for a good Star Wars experience, don't
Yeah.
let that stop you from it. It's not just the lightsaber, it's not whatever. Like pack some lunches. That's what we did. We packed lunches. We tried to
Yeah.
save as many different ways as we could and did the lightsaber. And Disney, they charge a lot for a lot of stuff. I get it, but they deliver on the experience. So I don't
Yeah.
know anyone who's done it and walked out and been like, "Man, I got ripped off." That it's so cool because after you go outside, if you schedule it at nighttime, you get to play in the dark with it, like with the Millennium Falcon right there.
Yeah.
Like the experience just goes on the rest of the night, and it's so fun.
Yeah. No, I would recommend it too. Maybe not for a really young kid who like I'm not going to take my sons and build one unless they get to the point where they're going
It's
to
like a
really
teenager
appreciate the
thing. Yeah.
experience. Because I mean that's really it's not about the object you get, right? You can go
Mhm.
online and buy cool sabers. it's
for a lot
100%
less.
about,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's all about being in that experience and having them make you feel like you're
Yeah.
a part of this cool thing. They do such a good job with it. So, um, yeah,
No, I agree. It's a lot of fun.
yeah,
And now the sabers, that might be the pinnacle of the merchandise that they have. Like it's probably the
yeah.
coolest thing, but I've got a ton of merchandise like right in front of me. I think you probably have a little bit
I have
to
a few
show off as
things.
well.
Yeah,
So, one thing, George Lucas got right about Star Wars, he didn't get rich off the movies. He got rich off the stuff they sold. And Galaxy's Edge does a great
yeah,
job at selling a lot of stuff. So,
they do.
I've
Yeah,
got a desk full of
yeah.
stuff in front of me. I would be happy to show off. Kevin, you can go ahead and start because I think I may
I
I
mean,
may
most of
take a
my
while.
stuff that I like, a lot of the stuff that I like is not even like they have some big like high price items, right? Like especially if you
Yes,
go in
they
what is
do.
it, Ondax,
Doc
um,
Ondars.
Doc Ondars. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
it
I don't
backwards.
have any of the
Um,
high dollar items
like there's
outside of the
some
saber.
really really cool
Yeah,
stuff in there that you can pay a pretty big penny for. But
yeah.
they just have a lot of little just knacks and things that are just really really cool. I love the
Hmm.
pins. Like the pins are some of
Oh
my favorite
yeah,
things. So
for
you saw
sure.
the lightsaber one, but like I love this pin. This thing is so cool. It's for the Cantina, the
Oh
DJ
yeah,
Rex.
that's cool.
This is probably one of the favorite ones I have. It says from light speed to mic speed, get caught in the tractor beat.
That's good.
But this is a great one. I love that pin. And then I know you got some too, but like the patches.
Oh
Like the
yeah,
patches are super cool. Like
the
there's just
patches are
tons
some
of,
of my favorite things there. Yeah,
yeah. I really like this. I think you gave me this one, this New Republic Navy one.
yeah, I
But
might
yeah,
have.
like there's just tons of just little things that are really good quality, that are just super cool, that are just from
Yeah,
little bits and pieces of the Star Wars galaxy. And
uh,
so if you wanted to go and just collect things that pull from
oh
all these
yeah,
different things, you totally could. Like there's just so much little items that you can pick up, which I think we picked up a couple of them at the character warehouse too.
oh yeah. That's a
Oh,
cheat
nice.
code there. So this is my
Yes.
favorite pin I think I have. This was the first time I went,
Oh,
and
I
they
like that.
only sold it like for the opening, and they
Yeah.
still had some. Like I went a month or two later, and so this was like a for sure thing, and like it was $16, which that was pre-pandemic money, so they'd
Yeah.
probably sell it for 20 now. But like I don't spend much on merchandise. Like
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. This might be one of the more expensive ones I've purchased, and only
Yeah.
16. But then the next time I went, I got this one because the ride was
Oh, that
open.
one's cool. I
So
like
I
that one.
got it. It was actually no, I lied. I did not get it next time I went. I got it at the Character Warehouse for $3.99.
There you go. That man, that's what you do. Like,
So I got this one the second time I went, the
oh
Black
yeah.
Spire
I think I
Outpost.
have that one too.
Yeah, you probably
I
got
didn't
it from
pull
the
it out.
Character Warehouse,
I
but
think I did.
I spent full price on it.
Yeah, I think I have that one. And then I think I have like a Rebels pin. You might have given me that one though. But no,
We got a
like,
lot of
yeah,
pins.
go to the character warehouse. Like you can get really
Oh
lucky.
yeah,
Like these hats, we saw them. I think we saw them in the park the day before for like $28,
28,
and
two
then I
ninety
think we
nine.
got them. Yeah,
It was cheap.
it's absurd. So, and I
Yeah,
love this hat.
I've never even
Um,
wore mine. I just
it
have
says
it just
Black
because.
Spire Outpost, and then it's got the BSO and Arabesh on the
Yeah,
back. So it's a pretty cool hat.
no,
But yeah,
it's
no, I
good,
mean,
and $3 or $4, whatever it was, hard
yeah,
to beat.
they've made some really cool stuff for the park
Yeah,
that just really screams Star Wars. Just like the really cool
yeah.
collectible things you can take home and just keep with you. Um,
I bought
so
one of
yeah,
these
I don't
when
have
I
a
was
ton
there
of
with
stuff,
you.
but I like. Oh yeah, the crystals.
Yeah,
Yep.
like because I got a green crystal in my saber, and then you can buy like a kyber crystal to put in your
Yeah.
saber. I think they're like $20 or something, but you can put them in the
I think
holocron
I think they're
too.
like 15 maybe. I think they're a little bit cheaper than
Yeah,
that.
it's not too bad. But like at
And
the
I know.
Droid Depot, you can buy these things as well. So I got
Oh
this at
yeah.
the character warehouse, but like it's a mystery thing. You don't know what's in it. And then this one came apart, but like it's a BB unit droid. You can kind of
Oh
see it
nice.
here.
Yeah.
So there's like some pieces to it, but it's neat. This was like at the warehouse for $5 or $6.
And we were talking earlier. Speaking of the droid depot,
$8.
so my My nieces and nephew, my sister up in Tennessee, they've
Yeah.
over the past couple of years they've really gotten into Star Wars, which has been a lot of fun. Because as soon as like we meet up somewhere at a family gathering, they just want to talk about it and ask questions.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I have people. Um, but no, and they got to go and they built some of the droids, and so I got to see them when we were up there
That's
visiting.
fun.
Those things are really cool because
I
they
haven't
really
done that
like
yet.
they're like really cool, like legit miniature versions of these droids. Like one of them,
They're
I think
RC,
one had
right? Like you
the
can do stuff
yeah,
with
they have
them.
a controller. Yeah,
Yeah.
so one had a battle droid. They had one of the I don't know if it was an R2 or an R4 unit, but then there was a BB unit, and like they function,
Yeah.
like they move, they make noises, like they're like really legit actual miniature versions of what you'd expect to come out of the movie. So I
Yeah.
don't have one, but they're really cool. I mean, and so that's
They
just
sell the
another thing.
personality chips for them too, so you can even
Yeah,
like change them out and stuff.
yeah, and that's another thing that they built. Like they got to pick the parts and put them together, and so
Yeah.
um, it's there's a lot of cool stuff there. So
Next time we go, we should do that. Like
build a
I'll save
droid.
up and do that. That would be fun. We
Oh,
can like
that'd be
have
hard. I
like
don't know what
split
kind of droid
custody of
you
a
want.
droid. Pass it off.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
Now another cool thing they have, you can buy these boxes.
Hmm.
We've bought quite a few of these, and it's a mystery box. We like
Yeah,
mystery stuff, but it's in Doc Ondar's, and it comes with a bust inside. So like I
yeah.
got this
Those are
Shock
cool.
T, and it's like you could use it as a paperweight type thing. And then
You've got a couple of
we,
those, don't you? You've done
yeah,
some
I've got Jar
videos.
Jar
Jar
Binks
Jar.
as well. We had a couple of Jar Jar Binks. I think we swapped one with a friend
That's
on
funny.
that one. But yeah, then
Good
I've
old Jar
got
Jar.
let's see, what else do I have? I've got this. So this may be it's up there
That's
on the
cool.
favorite level, but
I
they
like
still
that
sell
one. Yeah,
this as far as I know, and you're like, oh, postcards, that's fun. They're 4x6s and you can actually like put them in a frame.
yeah.
So
They're super
they're
cool.
cool, like really awesome. It's like the national park art type stuff in it. So you can see there, and this was $20 way back when. I did get this the first time I went, so probably a few bucks more now, but
Yeah,
still, it's cool. At the Droid Depot, you can buy these, so it's like the Metal Earth things you can buy. We've got a half-built R2D2 somewhere.
I've
It's like
I have an X-wing that I
22
have. I
bucks.
just have yet to build. The plan was to turn it into an ornament on the tree, but I just haven't built it yet.
Yeah.
So get around to
Now,
that
this is your
eventually.
cheat code for Galaxy's Edge, okay? You're going to spend money when you go in there. So you might as well buy one
Yeah,
of these, okay? So this is the coolest gift card ever purchased.
it is cool.
It is a Spira, is what they call it. So it is the currency at Galaxy's Edge. I'll cover up the thing on the back. I don't know if we have money on it, but it's just a Disney gift card. You can read it there.
Yeah, basically, it's a
But
fancy gift card that you can reload and take back into
yes,
the park.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can reload it online. So it's pretty cool. The one thing with this though is it's like a cover charge essentially. You've got to
yeah,
put $100 on it. So it's 100 and then they charge you five, I think. So it's like you spend $105 to get on the Spira, but
yeah,
still they're cool to have. We have a couple. You have yours around, right? It's a different
yeah.
color than mine.
Yeah, mine's kind of a silver, and it makes sense. Like I was building
Yeah.
a lightsaber, so I mean, I basically got
Yep.
this anyway, just because. I mean, at that point, it's just kind of they throw it in if you just
Might
know
as
to
well
get it.
buy
But I
two,
think you can only get them at like the Droid Depot, right? Isn't that the only
Yeah,
place where they sell them?
you go to the counter in the back of the Droid Depot, and
Yeah,
sometimes they don't have them. Like they're having to wait on them, so you just have to go back there and see.
yeah.
And I think
I
they
mean,
may
they're
even have
cool.
new ones now, new colors.
So you go to pay, and you just hand them your little cool Star Wars coin, and
They
it makes you
scan
feel
it
like you're there.
in the galaxy. Yeah. Now
It's cool.
let's talk the rides. That's kind of, it's a theme park.
Yeah,
Everybody gets going about the rides. That's what people go to Disney for the most
yeah.
part. So there's two rides at Galaxy's Edge. One is Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Hmm.
That's a puke box. And then there is Rise of the Resistance, right? That's what it's called. I
Yeah.
think. Yes,
It's
Rise
funny.
of the Resistance. Now, again, Smuggler's Run was open first, and I think the line for Smuggler's Run is better than the ride. That's just my opinion. Now, I know the time you went, you
Yeah.
stayed in line for like 7 hours to get in it. It was just so
No,
terrible.
no. So what happened is we were all in line together, and for some reason it was taking so long. And probably 2/3 of the way through the line, I realized if I stayed in this line, I was going to miss my lightsaber appointment.
Oh, yes.
So
Okay.
we had to get out of
Leave.
line after waiting
Yeah.
for it, which, man, that's super awkward. When you're walking past people in a line, it's like, listen, I'm not cutting. I promise. Please don't attack me. I'm just trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because people give you looks like, I don't know if I
Oh,
believe you
yeah.
right now. Like, no,
Oh, yeah.
really, I'm just trying to get out.
Two adults walking through the line.
Yeah, but no, it's a super cool queue. Like
You went
they're
back and
working
did it
on.
later, right?
We did. So later we went back and we
Yeah.
did. It actually worked out. We did the single rider, which took like 15 minutes. And the
Yeah.
way it worked out, and we were staggered. Like
You're
we ended up in
together.
the same ride anyway,
Yeah.
and so it worked out. No, the line's super cool. They're like working on engines in there, and like you can hear them talking. But I will say, Smuggler's Run has probably one of the best, like, oh, this is Star Wars moments, which is when you start into the Falcon and you walk through that little lounge
when
area
you're going actually
in
the Falcon,
where they have the Jarek table and like that scene. You're like, oh, this is the
Star
inside
Wars.
of the Falcon.
Yeah,
so that's one of the coolest moments in the whole park when you walk through there, because that's something that's so iconic that you see throughout the movies, like, and then you walk
to
through
a T.
It.
The Falcon.
Yeah, it looks
the
super
hallways.
Cool. So that and the outside, like seeing the Falcon outside, the full size, like those two parts of that ride are so cool.
They did that
rides,
ride's
okay, depending on who you have flying.
And which role you play. You can be the pilot, gunner, engineer, and man, the engineer is not the place to be.
I was gunner, which was pretty fun. But we had a couple of 8-year-olds flying the thing, and they ran into everything. So
yeah,
it was just a lot of shaking. But
I've done all three. Pilot's the most fun. Gunner to engineer, you should not even be riding if you're the engineer. Yeah, you press a button like twice.
And I
get
like
to see Hondo too. Yeah.
Hondo cracks me up, so that's a fun part of that ride too.
It's like legit too, that animatronic. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. Which Hondo, that's the guy. It's always funny to me, people who do voices. It's like the same guy that does Winnie the Pooh.
Really?
It's I think it's Jim Cummings, isn't it? Doesn't he also do Hondo?
Clue. I don't know.
I think he does. I could be wrong. And I may be making myself look really stupid right now.
Yeah, someone can fact check us. Comments, let us know who does the Hondo voice.
I'm doing it right now. I need to know if I just made myself really stupid or not.
Well, I'll stall while you do that. So Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, it does make me sick like every time I do it, but I still usually do it just because. But I will say, like, the invention of the lightning lane made it a lot harder for the cheapos, because like they probably let 50 lightning lane people in per 5 who are just waiting. So it does take a little bit longer now, but it's still fun. Like, if you've never done it, wait through the line. As bad as it is, wait through it once. If you want to risk the single rider, do that. Like, get in there, because going into the Falcon, the pictures you take once you get off the ride and you get like a few minutes to take pictures, it's well worth it. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to get sick or whatever, you probably won't. Just shut your eyes if you think you're going to. But like,
it's pretty
go
short
and
ride.
see.
It's not super long.
Yeah, go and see the Falcon. It's well worth it.
Yeah.
What was your results?
It was Jim Cummings, so I'm not crazy. But yeah, I mean, he's done all sorts of voices throughout everything. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just done everything. But yeah,
the more you know.
Also, Hondo. Yeah.
Now, Rise of the Resistance, and I'm going to try to show some B-roll of this as well, maybe some pictures from the Millennium Falcon, like for the previous one. But Rise of the Resistance is a very immersive ride. So, like, the line, again, very cool, because you're going through like this Resistance base. It's always posted like a super long wait time, but it's every time I've done it, it's been at least a half hour faster than what it says. And that's been over the course of going on 5 years now or 4 years that I've ridden it quite a few times. It's always shorter than what it says in my experiences.
I remember we got really lucky, because we were walking
25 minutes one time.
Oh, that wasn't us.
Oh, what I did it one time, walk by, it said like 75 and it was 25 once we went through it.
No, but when we did it, I think it had just closed down. and opened back up, and we weren't
that's
sure the
right.
time.
That was that time.
It said 4 hours, but you had been there. You were like, that line's not 4 hours. Like you could tell by looking at it. And so we jumped in, and sure enough, it wasn't 4 hours. It was like 2, but still, that's pretty significantly different from 4 hours. So.
Yeah, that one was a longer wait. So maybe the next time I went, it said like 75 minutes. It was less than a half hour going through there.
Which, this is, like, Disney's got to get it together. Like, if you make a ride, you need to make it work consistently. Because one of the reasons I think it's so long is because it breaks down. And then everybody rushes over there when it opens back up. Like, you got to do better for the fans that are there. Like, because I imagine some people go and they don't get to ride it, right? Like,
that does happen.
I get when it happens occasionally, but that thing breaks down all the time.
It's like, at least terrible. Once a day, I feel
that's
like.
Terrible.
But the reason it does that, it's very... So it's on a magnet, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not on a
misaligned or something.
Are a magnet, and so there's a lot of issues like that. And then they have animatronic issues as well. So sometimes you'll ride it and like there's just weird stuff happening. Like I won't spoil the whole ride or anything, but like at different stages, people will not be doing what they're supposed to be doing, or maybe it'll just skip a whole part of the ride. But you know, if you get on it and it's working all the way through, it's a pretty cool ride. I won't spoil the end of it either, but there's a little surprise at the end too. Very awesome ride. You get onto that First Order ship, and it's like all those stormtroopers are there, and the cast members working it are like yelling at you, and they're mean. They're in character. They did a great job on this ride when it's operating.
Yeah, because it's a long ride. Like it's really...
It's 20, it's like 19 or 20 minutes if you count the whole experience.
Yeah, and really, if you think about it as actual rides, it's kind of 2 rides tied together with a break in between. They just made the break really interesting.
Yes,
because you have the first one's more of a simulator type ride.
Yeah,
that takes you through, and then that is super cool when you open up into the docking bay with the stormtroopers. That's one of the really cool moments.
Yeah.
But then they're like, how do we make it cool for people to wait? Well, let's just put Imperial officers in there and make them be really mean, right? The only people in Disney that are allowed to be mean to you. So so that's fun. And then you get to do the second part of the ride where you're actually moving. No, I mean it's good. The premise of it and the execution of it when it works is really, really cool. It's just a shame that it breaks down so much.
And
but no, we were fortunate.
Maybe
we got to ride
it's gotten better, but that was a bad day. The day y'all went.
Well, and man, I was thinking like I'm not going to get to ride this thing. It just broke down. Like I don't know when I'm going to be able to come back here. Like life's so busy. But no, we got lucky and it opened back up. But I imagine
you didn't get to do Slinky Dog Dash that day, did you?
Oh yeah, we did. We did it twice.
Okay, because one time I went and it all runs together. But one time I went and it was closed like all day long. Never got to ride it.
We were about to get in line at something, and then we found out that the Midway one just opened up.
Oh,
we, bolted over there, and we just walked through the whole line. That was fun.
No, it's good, but Hollywood Studios does seem to be the one park where everything doesn't always operate.
That's true. I just thought of this. One of the coolest moments while we were at the park, do you remember it poured? Like downpour while we were there? We had gotten separated at some point. We were doing different things. But Brittany and I, we got stuck under an umbrella, like right there where you buy the milk, where the big Imperial shuttle is.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because it emptied out, and it was just like completely empty. There was hardly anybody in like the alleyways and stuff, and it was just pouring and wind blowing.
Yeah.
It was cool to see it like in a thunderstorm, just because it emptied so quickly.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool thing.
Let's talk food. You said blue milk. You got me like thirsty now. So Galaxy's Edge, Disney parks, like for Disney adults, if you are one of those types, I consider myself one of those types because it's fun. I would say one of the most underrated things is getting to try different theme park foods. Like I don't go in there expecting it to be, 5-star steakhouse or anything like that. But you go in knowing they're going to rip you off a little bit on the price, but it's unique and it's usually a fun type of food. And so Star Wars fans, blue milk, how much cooler does it get than that? Like you get to drink blue milk.
I'll say for the most part too. Like I don't know that I've ever had anything at Disney that was like, oh, this is bad. Like the food's usually pretty good. It's definitely overpriced, but yeah, the milk is cool.
They have a standard, I would say. Like nothing's just terrible.
No, but they got the blue and the green milk. So whether you want a bantha or I don't know whatever those cliff things are called.
Blue bantha. I don't remember the green one.
It's those cliff things in
the thing
Last
that
Jedi.
Luke Skywalker milks.
Yeah, the one he milks. Yeah.
Wish they wouldn't have shown that on screen.
The blue, and I tried. It was pretty good. But I like the green. The green I like better. I hear that people don't, but
I've never tried it. It's kind of mainly because
kind of floral.
Of the visual. I've seen where it comes from.
So. That's fair. Like I guess if you have that in your mind while you're drinking it, it may be a little unappetizing.
And Luke going,
But it was hot outside and it was a frozen drink, so that may have also contributed to me enjoying it. I don't know, but I think I liked it. I get
blue milk every time I go. One of the first things I do when I walk in there, because it's like kind of, I don't know if it's the best drink to get. Like probably doesn't taste any better than other stuff you can get, but it's cool. Yeah.
I mean but they do have these cool cups, so I love bringing the souvenir home, cup. I like stuff that you use all the time, and so I was like, I'll drink out of this thing all the time. So this is the cool cup. You can get it in. They got the bantha, and then whatever this thing is called, I feel like I
could translate it.
Get your Aramesh dictionary out.
I have it right here.
I feel very. I feel like I should know this. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, we'll figure it out another time. But very neat that you can do that. Now, they also have the Ronto wrap. I don't know if you ate one of those.
It's
like a pita with barbecue in it. Like they've got smoked turkey
it's like a smoked sausage. With some sort of like sweet and spicy slaw on it.
And it's got like a sauce on it too. It's very good. It's only like $10, like it's like pretty good size,
pretty big
sandwich, I think. So
that's
Brittany
and I both got one
every time. Yeah,
and she got full, and I was like, I'll finish it. Like, it was good. It was really good.
It's like you don't expect, like, because it's like smoked turkey and a sausage link inside of it, and it's got a little kick to it. It's good,
quite good. Yeah.
Then we get also at Katsaka's Kettle, you get that popcorn,
the Outpost mix.
Yeah, the Outpost mix. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah, that stuff's really good.
Sweet and spicy
we got a bag
too, kind of.
It is, yeah. It's almost like some of them are multicolored. They're like kind of fruity, and then you got like
purple
the salty
and bluish
ones in there. Yeah, that stuff's good. Yeah. So get the Outpost mix. I think they had like cold coffee there too, iced coffees.
They have a cold calf there. Yeah, it's good too, like a Black Spire brew or something like that. It's like a natural cold brew that's got Cocoa Puffs in it. It's pretty cool as well.
It does have Cocoa Puffs in it.
On top of it with like a cold foam.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But the Outpost mix, one of the flavors
that stuff's good.
Tastes like the Trix cereal, like when you were a kid, you know? It tastes like that.
I see that. It's totally the same kind of artificial fruity flavor.
So fake.
It's good. It's pretty tasty.
Now, as far as other food goes in there, I haven't really ventured out much. There's another restaurant there I've never eaten at. I've eaten inside of it. I've just never bought anything there.
Is it that landing bay or something?
They've got some interesting stuff there.
Yeah,
Docking Bay 7 or something.
Something like that.
You can get some pretty exotic looking food and desserts. Yeah. I've never done it because I'm like a Ronto wrap every time guy, and so I'm never gonna go away from that. But there's the Cantina as well.
Yeah,
and it's so good.
I'm always hesitant to get like a meal. I'd much rather just get like
snacks,
little things just to try out different things. But the Cantina is super cool. That's probably one of the better, best parts of the park.
It's the most stressful pre-park thing to do because you're just checking for reservations constantly. A lot of people can fit in there, but relative to how many people want to fit in there, not that many.
Yeah.
So you can always standby list it, but you're not guaranteed anything. So
there's probably maybe 150 people in there?
150, 200 maybe. They cram them in there. They cram more in now. So there's more in now because
really?
it used to be more laid back right when it opened, and now
Yeah.
it's like everyone's standing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But still very fun.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few of the drinks. Gosh, I can't remember all of them. I get a hyperdrive every time, which is just Gatorade, Sprite, and like
Yeah.
cherry grenadine in it. I get one of those every single time because it's hot outside and it's got Gatorade in it, and it's good. They do the little Sonic crushed ice in it, so
Yeah.
it's always a fun time. But I've got, man, we've gone so many times. We've tried pretty much everything on the non-alcoholic side of the
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Couple things
remember.
on the other side.
Yeah. No, because we all ordered something different, and it was all really good.
Yep.
Which, fun little tip: the really expensive drinks that come in the mugs,
Oh
like
yes,
you
yeah.
can just ask for it and tell them you don't want the
Yep.
mug, but they still bring it in the super cool
In the mug.
mugs.
They just take it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're those things are cool.
And
If
those are
those
some of the
things,
best drinks there too, flavor wise. I've had
they are.
both. I've had
Yeah,
the Porg one and the other one.
because I think Brittany
Ewok
got the
one or
Porg
something.
one, like the
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. Then there's the Ewok one that's kind of like a tropical
Yeah. I've
cocktail
done
thing.
both.
Oh, I just hit that. I got the jet juice, which was really good. I like the
That
jet
was
juice.
so good.
That was a good one.
Came in
Yeah,
a
they just
little
have
bitty
some cool
cup.
stuff. It did, yeah. Which, man, that's another place in the park where you walk in and you're just like, oh, this is so Star Wars, right? Like
Yeah.
it is. If it wasn't, you would think it's Mos Eisley Cantina if you knew it was, if you didn't know it wasn't, right? Because it has that same vibe, the loud music. It's dark. There's just weird lights in there.
DJ Rex is like in the
Sketchy
corner doing the
bartenders
stuff.
with DJ Rex. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's super cool. It's another one of those things that they really do a good job of making you feel like, oh, this is a cool Star Wars moment. So
Yeah. And
yeah, it was
DJ
hard to get
Rex,
into.
so once an hour, there's one song. It's like whatever the main song
I
is.
remember.
Were you
Yeah,
in there for that?
it just so happened when we were in
Yeah.
there that
You don't
they
get it
did
every
that.
time.
So
I mean, you can stay 45 minutes, but there's a chance you miss it. So
yeah,
it's awesome because sometimes the bartenders will get up on the tables if like there's room and they'll do the dances with it and everybody's doing the bar chants.
yep.
It's so fun.
I remember that was cool. I didn't know what was going on at first, but
yeah, it's that one song.
yeah.
Were you there when I tried the fuzzy tauntaun that like numbs, like it makes your mouth numb?
I don't
you would remember it
think
if you
so.
were.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
That's an interesting drink. They put some kind of floral thing in it.
Yeah.
And
it's like the foam, isn't it?
Yeah, and it numbs your mouth. But you got to think, like, when you drink something, it doesn't just stop with your mouth. Like, it goes down the hatch. And so it numbs your throat, too, like when it's going down. So it's, like, kind of weird, but makes you feel kind of tingly on the inside.
I think you have yours with you. They have the really cool coasters, right?
I have quite a few.
Oga's Cantina, and then they have the different drinks. This is the Gamorrean Ale. You got the, I don't remember what it's called.
Or something like that.
Yub Nub, yeah.
Or Tip Yip or something, I don't know.
The Bloody Rancor. That's a cool one.
Yeah, I got that one too.
What else we got? The Blue Bantha.
Was this the Jet Juice one, or I don't remember?
That's the Skyhopper.
Skyhopper, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because it has the T16. I only knew that because of the 16 there.
Did you show that one yet?
Read Arabish. Yeah, that's the Gamorrean Ale.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And like they're super nice. Like we had gotten coasters and we were like, hey, can we trade these for some different ones? Just because we wanted to have all of it. And they're like, yeah, sure. They're really nice. And no, they don't.
And some people like, I haven't taken great care of mine, but some people like you can kind of like do something to them and make them real coasters at your house, like get a couple things like to glue it to or something. So that's something that would be cool to do at some point.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But for sure, if you go to Galaxy's Edge, like you don't have to make the lightsaber, you don't have to make the droid, but if you're having like a must do thing, I would say Cantina's one. I would put it above the two rides. It's like, it's so Star Wars.
It is. Yeah, it's a really cool spot to just be able to kind of sit down and look around and take everything in. So yeah, I mean, like you said, you got to be really intentional about getting in there because, man, because I know we looked at reservations for like 2 weeks until we found one.
We got
because
real
you
lucky.
gotta get it as soon as they come up. But
And any time of day too. Like, don't be
yeah,
picky. But I will say, if you can be picky or you want to go a few times a day, this is like your cheat code for Galaxy's Edge. Take your lightsaber, book the latest
late ones.
Cantina
Yeah,
reservations you can get. So last time Ashley and I went, we got a 10:45. Park closed at 10. So we got to hang around in the park
yeah, that's
for
cool.
45 minutes, nobody there. Then you get in, you get your 45 minutes. All right, so it's like 11:30. You leave. There is nobody in the park at 11:30, and like,
Great for photo ops.
don't stay too long because the cast members want to go home. Like, don't be that guy.
Yeah,
But also, like, go out of the cantina, turn right. There's the Millennium Falcon,
yep, right
and
there.
there's nobody there. So they don't care if you take a few shots there, walk around, like, whichever way you go, right or left, away from the Millennium Falcon. Choose whichever one you prefer. But either way, pretty cool views, nobody there. So definitely, if you can do it once, book it as late as possible so you can kind of have that area of the park to yourself. Have we missed anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's all I've done.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So we talked about merchandise.
Yep.
Talked about food and drink. We talked about the rides. We did the
Rides.
lightsabers, the droids.
The one thing we have not
the shopping's good.
Is, what is it? The Halcyon? Is that?
Ain't nobody doing that anymore. How
Yeah.
dumb.
It's a man. That's a shame that went the way it did. It was
I mean, who would have ever thought normal human beings wouldn't want to spend $6,000 for 2 nights at a hotel with Star Wars?
Such a cool idea and a cool premise, but they really whiffed on the execution with that one.
I have friends that swear by it, and they said it is the most fun thing they've ever done.
I'm sure it is.
I believe every word of it. I think they should have tiered it off to where more people could have went for the price.
Yeah, because it works to where you don't even get like a full day in the park, do you? Like,
I think you can, but if you do, you miss out on some of the other stuff in the park. I know Poptography, Patrick with Poptography, that account, he did it for like his 50th birthday or something like that. And he sent like some awesome pictures. He said it was the best time.
I bet
Danny Fandoms has done it at least once. Danny says it's like so great, and I take his word for it. And I wish I could have done it. Just the price and the days, like bang for your buck, it just never worked for us, unfortunately.
Yep, same. But no,
maybe mean, they'll do something with it. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Again, I think if you could do it, I'm sure it was awesome. So
yeah. Oh well, maybe in another life, But
one day.
Galaxy's Edge, I mean, again, it's a 10 out of 10 for Star Wars fans. And if you hate Star Wars, you're still going to have a pretty good time in there because it's just Disney did a great job with it. So check it out. Next week's episode going to be a lot of fun. Next week is Acolyte Eve. It's the last episode. It's the last week until we have 8 or 6 or whatever weeks of only talking about the Acolyte. So we're going to go ahead and get ready by only talking about the Acolyte. So that's going to be next week's episode, the official prediction show.
And there's a lot to talk about because they've been dropping a lot of stuff lately.
A lot of teasers.
Which is just fueling the amount of speculation. Like, I've come up with so many ridiculous theories at this point.
And they will all be here on this show.
Yeah, and they'll all be 99% wrong if I'm lucky. Maybe I'll sneak in a 1% in there somewhere.
Maybe low.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for the show. It looks really good. It looks like it's going to be an interesting story. I'm excited to see it. So
that teaser today where they said before there was an Empire, before there was a Menace, there was an Acolyte, that was pretty cool. Like, marketing, good marketing there. So next week, official Acolyte predictions. The way we'll do it per the usual, we're going to have like what we think is going to happen, what do we want to happen, and then just an off the wall prediction. So that's how we like to do these things. And so that's what we're going to do again. So that's going to be next Friday. So check it out. And we do have a few other Acolyte episodes. So if you're subscribed to the podcast where we've kind of talked about it, go check those out as well. See how wrong we are, at the end of it. But otherwise, we appreciate you guys watching per the usual, and we will catch you next time.